Hi everyone and welcome to Club 5 episode 12 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM22 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So, recent form has been very patchy. We're just in the run-in towards the end of the season. We've got about half a dozen matches to play. Today, we play relegation-threatened Huddersfield in the Premier League with our Watford team. And the recent form hasn't been particularly good for us, so it's important that we get 3 points and try and turn that around. That being said, we're not really in any danger or anything. It's actually been a pretty good season, so I'm happy overall. So let's just take a quick scoot around the club. It's not going to be a long one because there's not an awful lot to tell. We're sitting in 13th position. We're not going to lose too many spots from where we currently are, really. The relegation area is nothing we need to worry about. I don't think we'll particularly catch those teams ahead of us either, if I'm totally honest. So I think that's roughly where we'll finish this season. If we go into our schedule page, you'll see that the recent form has been very patchy. And then we went and beat Man City. And I really have no idea how we managed to beat Man City, but we did. That's just the way this season has gone so far. So yeah, all in all, it's been a really weird kind of couple of weeks in game. And today we play Huddersfield, having gone through a really tricky run. I mean, Man City were in there, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, all in the last half dozen fixtures. It's been very, very difficult. Now we've got a run of Huddersfield, Fulham, Villa and Wolves. If I could get 6 points from these next 4 games, I'd be actually pretty happy with that, I think. Before we finish off the season with a game against Arsenal, who are just about to be crowned, if they aren't already. Not sure they are yet, but they're just about to be crowned Premier League champions by quite some distance, really. They're about 9 points clear, I think, at the top of the table. So, yeah, that's going to be a tricky last day of the season. If we can get 6 points between now and then, I'll be pretty happy with that. And that starts today, away from home against Huddersfield. Into the competition page, you'll see that we got knocked out by Liverpool in the FA Cup. We got knocked out by Man City in the Carabao Cup. We sit in that 13th position in the league. And the teams that we play for the rest of the season, so what have we got? We've got Huddersfield, Fulham, Villa and Wolves. So that's 10th, 14th, 18th and 20th. 6 points. We need them. Anyway, let's get into today's game against Huddersfield and see how we get on. Can we get the 3 points? Let's find out. So, in terms of personnel for today's match, we've got one issue, and that's my right fullback. Mendes is out for the next couple of weeks. He's been out for a week already. It's been a little bit unfortunate to lose him at that point, but Ramsey's done pretty well coming in that sort of right fullback position to hold down the fort for us. Everybody else is pretty fit and healthy, though, really. We've been able to rotate the team around a little bit here and there. Dane Scarlett is still being an absolute superstar for us. If we actually let's go and click into him just momentarily. We'll see. He's got 27 goals in 35 games. I think the leading goal scorers for the Premier League this season is listed the top 3 of Haaland, Vlahovic and Dane Scarlett. So he's done pretty well, really, for us at the top of our striking options. Everybody else needs to step up a little bit today, though. We need to continue to try and improve our position a little bit by getting those 6 points in the next 4 games if we can. And that starts here. So nothing has changed particularly. I've tried a couple of different more options in terms of how to play my left fullback because it's a cursed position, as you well know. We're going with an attacking fullback option today in Mitchell. See what happens there. Mendes, as I say, is the only one out. So for today's match against Huddersfield in the Premier League, we go with Bursic in goal, Ramsey at right back, Mitchell at left back, Collins and Ryan in central defence, Douglas, Kamara and Mosquera in central midfield, with Vieira in the shadow striker role behind Kao George and Scarlett, and a bunch of people on the bench ready to make an impact should we need them to. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So, considering we're playing bottom of the table Huddersfield, we've got to go for this one. So, I've pumped the fist. I've said I expect nothing but a win from this particular match. Let's see if we can get that done today. Away from home, always going to be tricky, of course, but the simple reality is they are in the relegation zone. They are going to get relegated this season if they're not already. And it's these matches that we need to show up in and properly demonstrate that actually we're taking strides to being a permanent fixture in the Premier League and not a yo-yo club in any way. So 13th position is ahead of schedule. We were predicted about 16th, I think it was, this time round. So I will happily take that and see if we can improve on that next season. For those that were with me last episode, or the episode before, I can't remember who it was, you'll notice that the Man United job came up, which I did apply for because I'm a Man United fan IRL. Couldn't resist it. I wasn't going to apply for any other jobs, but they didn't even talk to me about it. So it's, I'm not ready for that yet. I've got another course or two to take in the coaching badges to improve that. We can continue to improve Watford as well. There might be another stepping stone club for us to take on before we get to one of the really big clubs in the Premier League, possibly. But we'll see what happens with that as we progress on. But for now, it's all about Watford and finishing off this season strongly and trying to get into the summer break in good spirits, really. Finally, we get a highlight at 33 minutes. Vieira with a long shot, but it was a fairly comfortable tap round the post for the goalkeeper for a corner kick on this near side that's going to be taken by Douglas into that near post corner, in the near post area, should I say. And we got a header on it, but it went slightly narrowly wide of the post again. So a couple of efforts there. It's been a little bit quiet, and the concern for me is that even though our style of play is not really to dictate the possession too much, against Huddersfield, we've only got 34% of the ball, and I'm not sure that is good enough. So we're going to go and try and change that aspect of things, I think, at half-time here. I'm not really happy with that. So let's see if we can change up our style just a little bit. So we're going to go into the positive mentality. In possession, we're going to shorten the pace down, but keep a standard tempo. See if we can get that moving. Pass through the middle of our narrow formation anyway. We're going to dribble less and try and keep hold of the ball. So those are the changes we're going to make there. We're going to slightly narrow the attacking width as well. In transition, I'm happy not to have the press on at the moment. I think it wears our players out quite a lot. I prefer them to slightly regroup and be harder to beat in our own area if need be. But we have got the counter-attacking on. We're going to take the distribution long from the goalkeeper out and take it to the centre-backs and try and go through the pitch a little bit. We're going to slow the pace down off as well, though, just to see if we can just increase the tempo a little bit, but not go over the top. We're going to push the line higher. We're going to keep the higher line of engagement. I think everything else is pretty settled in terms of what I want. But just a couple of little tweaks just to see if in the second half we can improve that possession stat just a little bit and get a couple of better options in front of goal. Let's see how we can go with that one. We're going to point the finger, though, to the players themselves and say we need more possession in the second half. I'm disappointed with what I've seen so far. And that lays it all on the line for them. So we're going to go and demand more from them and just see what that does to our team, really. Can that improve the quality of our chances and our possession in this second half against a team that have obviously struggled this season, but will continue to be fighting for sort of their own reputation, really. So we've got to be on our best to try and get these points anyway. Kamara wins the ball for us. Scarlett holds onto ball. Doesn't really do a great job then, does he really? Tries to palm it off to Ko George, and it doesn't go very well at all. But Mitchell wins it back for us. It's going to be one of those highlights. Who knows who's going to end up with the shot at goal here? It might still be us with Scarlett, and he does. But the goalkeeper does great the first time round. And then Vieira with a really good little bit of quality there. The ball ricochets around, having Scarlett hit the goalkeeper basically with his shot. It gets parried back and cleared by the defender, but it goes straight to Vieira. And that's a first-time shot, catches everyone by surprise, including the goalkeeper. And we do go 1-0 up finally. So that's a good bit of business from our forward line there. And immediately, you then ask yourself the question, what's the point in us taking away the long goal clearances and going shorter in the passing if all that happens is your goalkeeper still boots the ball long? They don't follow instructions sometimes, do they, really? I mean, I understand in the heat of a moment you've got to make some snap decisions. But it was quite telling that was the next highlight, really, wasn't it? But there we go. 68 minutes on the clock. We're still 1-0 up. We're not really dominating the game as much as I like. And improvements in the possession stat hasn't really happened too much. But here's another highlight at 73 minutes. We're going to make some changes after this one. Can we go 2-0 up? We can't at that point. Their goalkeeper has it. Is he going to be forced to go long, or are they going to shorten it down? They're going to go long. That gives us a chance to win it really, really well. Nicely done from them. Kayo George drops in. Vieira, Douglas. That's a really lovely move. So that was shadow striker, pressing forward, Metzala and advance forward, all getting involved in the play, moving the play forward. I'm just going to go in and make a couple of changes personnel-wise before the end of this highlight so I don't forget, because I feel like we're just running on empty a little bit. So we'll put Lucelio, in instead of Kamara in the central point of our midfield. Ramsey, unfortunately, not having his best game at right fullback. Unfortunately, Mendes is not fit to take over from him. So we're going to go more attacking with our changes. So we're going to put Soto in for Kayo George. And the interesting one, we're going to change Scarlett as well. He's got a good rating, but he's just losing a little bit of his fitness. And I want to protect him a little bit. But just very briefly, we're going to look at this guy. Mustafa Arkain came into the club earlier in the season, then was away with Morocco for a while, so didn't see him for a while. Look at that value, though. 51 to 78 million. And one of the reasons for that is that he is currently on the most recent next-gen top 50 list. He is currently rated as the 15th best new gen coming through the game, the next gen player at the moment. We've got a really good player on our hands here. He's still going to play a bit part for the remainder of this season, but next season he's going to be on full attack for getting into the first team, basically. So we'll see what happens. So we are going to give him a bit of a run out for the last few minutes of this particular match. So Scarlett gets a little bit of a break. So Arkain comes in, and he's going to be good for us. I really do that. Think that. There's another young central midfielder that we've got. What's his name? Kubelovic or Kubelich. I can't even remember what his name is now. But he's like number 27 on the list as well. So a couple of really interesting players coming through for Watford, which is really good to see. Let's see if we can improve them over the next season or so. Vieira gets a really good ball. Kayo George in the end has another strike at goal. The changes that we've asked for haven't been made yet because there wasn't a break in play. Now they come. That was another really good bit of play, but not the end product, unfortunately. Douglas this time with a free kick in, and we hit the post. And then it rebounds, and Jamal Lewis, unfortunately, is in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it just hits him and goes into the back of the net for an own goal. Really good strike there from the central defender, Collins. It was so unlucky that it didn't go in at that near post, but it hit the post. But we get the rebound, the luck on the rebound, and we get an own goal from it, and that gives us the 2-0 lead, which gives us the points with 3 minutes to play, you'd imagine. And finally, we can settle down a little bit, and Vieira's back in again, and that is dreadful. That is absolutely dreadful from him. He had a completely open goal. The goalkeeper was out of position. He'd managed to just about get it round the outside of the goalkeeper, and then just booted it over the top of the goal. And he's been sensational for us for a lot of the time this season. And there is the youngster that we've been building up, going wide of the goal as well. At least we're creating chances, but just a little bit more composure on those chances wouldn't go amiss, would it really? And Huddersfield come back at us. 92nd minute here. They try and get the cross in. They don't manage it. It goes out for a corner. Time is ticking away. We've got under a minute in theory to play. The cross comes in. We get it partially cleared. They're going to win the loose ball, or are they? We try and challenge for it, but they do. And then they put it out of play. And that should do it. It should be the last kind of highlight of the game. And it is indeed 2-0 win, comfortable in a lot of ways. But again, even though we shortened the passing, took out the dribbling, all that kind of stuff, only 38% of the possession is not quite good enough. And it's something that we'll be looking at to change next season, is exactly how we're playing this formation. And seeing if there's a way in which we can have a bigger influence on the way the game is played out. Of course, That's dependent on who we're playing. You know, you're not likely to get that against Man City, but against the lower half of the table, that is kind of something I would like us to improve on. But anyway, today, reasonable performance, good result, gets us 3 of those 6 points that I'm after for the remainder of these last few fixtures. So, not bad overall, I'd say. So, all in all, a really positive win in the end, really. Another 3 points on the board. 42 points now, over that magic 40 mark, or 38 to 40, I think, is what you roughly need to make sure you stay in the division in the Premier League. And we've passed that with flying colours this season really well. Really happy with that, because as a newly promoted side, you can never tell how it's going to go. But it looks currently like Bournemouth and Huddersfield are gone, and probably Fulham or Leeds are going to join them. That's the way it will look. Tottenham in 16th position is really interesting, isn't it? But it's not the first time we've seen Tottenham struggle in other people's series as well. So that's very interesting. Maybe there's a rebuild job in there somewhere, possibly, with some better finances. Who knows? But we're going to stick with Watford for now and see what we can do over this next couple of games just to finish off the season. So into the fixture list we go. And we've got those 4 games left. Fulham, Villa, Wolves. Another 3 points from them I'd be very happy with. And then we play the newly crowned champions of the English Premier League, Arsenal, away from home to finish off the season. And that's the game we'll be coming back for next episode. Will we be able to just maintain our 13th position? Will we be able to maybe claw back to Southampton? I don't think so. I think they're 6 points clear at the moment, and that might be too much for us. But I also feel like they're not 6 points clear. They're 2 points clear. We might be able to get them. We're 6 points clear of Villa. That's what I was going to talk about. And I think 13th is secured for us this season, potentially. So I'm really happy about that. It's been a good first season in the Premier League. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. A good performance in the end in terms of getting the 3 points. Just need a little bit of a better way to actually instill our game on our opponents a little bit more. So putting my thinking cap on for that one a little bit. If you've got any ideas, let me know in the comments below in the setup that we've currently got. How do we change that? Anyway, for today, that's going to do it. Thank you for joining me. Really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join my United City community. The more, the merrier. Click that like button on this particular episode. That will help me get seen by more people. Until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.